Hi everyone, I'm Sean, and today I'm going to be reviewing Hello Sunshine by Laura Dave. I would like to review some more current popular books on this channel because most of the books I review are by old dead writers, and I don't think those get as many views on YouTube. So last week I went to the library and I got a few books off the new release shelf. I wanted to get Malibu Rising because I've seen that all over booktube and goodreads, but they didn't have it or it wasn't in. So I saw Hello Sunshine, which was one of the books they had by Laura Dave, who is the author of Malibu Rising. The book is about the host of this really popular cooking show. She goes by the name of Sunshine. And one day she begins to get hacked and someone is posting all these details that are exposing her as a fraud. She loses the cooking show, she loses her husband, her home, all her credibility, it's just gone. So the book is about her wondering who did this hacking, who exposed her, who has a vendetta against her to bring her down. And it's about her journey back, her way to find redemption, her way to find basically her true self and become the person that she wants to be. Despite the protagonist being a chef, I don't think this book would really qualify as a foodie or a book that really just makes you mouth-wateringly hungry for food. Nor is it, I think, a comedy. There may be humorous parts, but I definitely do not think that the humor is the main part of this book. The main part of the book is about this character's journey from the top to the bottom and trying to climb her way back up. Okay, my thoughts about the book. The first chapter, really the first paragraph, tells us that this is the day that the character will begin to lose everything. Her cooking show, her job, her husband, her home. She's about to lose it all. And to me, what that does is over the next 4 or 5 chapters, you see that unfolding. But since she already told you the outcome, that she's going to lose her show, she's going to lose her job, she's going to lose her husband, she's going to lose the home. Since you already know that, that takes away a lot of the tension. It takes away a lot of the emotional attachment that I might have otherwise felt. Because I already know how it's going to end. Any time she begins to feel hope that maybe this will all just wash over, I know it won't. I know it's going to get worse and I know what's going to happen. Some readers may like this approach. They may like knowing what's about to happen and seeing how it all unfolds. But for me personally, I think it ruins the emotional attachment, like I said. So what I would do, instead of just saying, this is the day I lose my job, my house, my husband, and all this stuff, she could just say, this is the day where everything began to fall apart. And that way the reader does not know exactly how much she will come to ruin, or exactly how. You don't know the outcome, you just know this is going to be a bad day, so you could see it all unfolding and you don't know the end, you don't know the spoiler. That is how I would approach it. It just takes away so much emotional attachment for me, knowing how it's going to wind up. And because these first 4 or 5 chapters are spent showing you how this all unfolds, since I know how it's going to go, I don't really feel that I become that attached to the character, because I know what's about to happen to them. So I don't know, I don't really root for them as much, because why should I root for them if I know they're going to lose? You know what I mean? So I think that hurts also for building up your likability for your character. This is a more minor issue. It's not something I would deduct stars from the book for. But personally, I would have rewritten it, like I said, just to say this is the day where everything began to fall apart, and bam, you could go right into it. That's more of a personal preference, just a way I thought the story could have been better. Next, and it's also not something that I would dock the book points for, but I am actually surprised that the author so blatantly talks about the Food Network specifically. And in part, what happens in the book is her producer or whatever says something like, oh, don't worry, everyone on our show is not who they say they are. You know, we make up stuff all the time. So I really wonder how the author could have gotten away with saying that, because I would think that would get her in line to be sued. Just saying basically that everyone on the Food Network, this producer says, is a fraud. So I don't know if the author would have gotten permission from the Food Network where they said, okay, yeah, you could publish this is fine. Because I really think she would get sued because she's mentioning the Food Network specifically by name. So I don't know how she got away with that. Also, I thought the protagonist was very similar in her sort of story to Ree Drummond, the pioneer woman, because the protagonist in this book is like, she claims to be a daughter of a farmer, raised on the farm, and that's what she's making is home-style food on the farm kind of thing. And to me, that's pioneer woman, and you're talking about Food Network, so it's like, I think the actual story about the protagonist may be inspired in some way by Paula Deen. I don't know, but Paula Deen is actually specifically referenced in the book. But to me, I got major pioneer woman vibes from this. Just born on the farm, cooking on the farm, woman. And it's very explicit in the book. The producer says, oh, that's just all fraud. Everyone on our show is phonies. So I don't really know how the author got away with this without being sued. Did she get permission to do it? Did she previously work for the Food Network and had an in? I don't know, but that's curious to me. Me personally, just to avoid that, I would have just generically said, like, the network, you know, not capitalize it, Food and Network. Just say generally the network. The network says this. I'm in line to get a network show. Don't say which network, and they can't really sue you. Okay, while I would not dock the book a star for that, I mean, that's nothing to do with rating the book. There is an issue connected with that, however, and that is I found it very implausible that this producer, this show, would so blatantly just make up a story about the protagonist, just saying, oh, she was raised on the farm, born on the farm, daughter of a farmer, and yeah, because she had a childhood. People knew her growing up. People knew her family. People knew her father. She went to school. She had classmates. So I just find it highly implausible that a character in the 21st century would try to create this lie about their origin. Because, I mean, word gets around very easily. If she is a really popular cook, has this show with millions of subscribers, people would talk. People back home would say, no, she is not a farmer's daughter. She did not grow up on the farm. She grew up in this rich neighborhood or whatever. Here's where she went to school. I went to school with her. Here's pictures of us together. That would get around. So it's just stupid to me that they would even try to create this fictional account of her origins. And that is really a large part of what the book is based on. So I think that was a flaw in the writing of the book. If they were going to make up lies about her origins, I think you go with something else other than just an outright lie like this. So I don't know what exactly. Maybe you fib on exactly how wealthy she was growing up. But you don't just blatantly make up a lie, because you are going to get called out on it. And how she got this far in her career without being called out on it, that just seems really weak and dubious. That is something where it's like you deserve to get called out on that, because I mean, just why would you create such a fictional account, just a lie, when there is so much evidence to the contrary? I mean, people knew her growing up. She went to school, she had friends, she had family. People would talk. That was just stupid. So that part of the book does not make sense at all. Now, I will actually put a spoiler warning on this next part, so if you don't want to hear this spoiler, go ahead and skip to the next chapter, because it's a major spoiler. So giving you time to skip ahead a chapter if you want, Okay, here we go. You find out in the end that the person responsible for hacking her, for posting all this stuff, revealing her true identity, revealing all her lies about what she's done, was her husband. And the reason he says he did it is to help her, because he did not like the person she was becoming. She was becoming too far gone with all this lying and trying to get approval from others and trying to get fame or whatever. So he wanted to save her by releasing all this information and knocking her down a peg, because it was the only way he could reach her. And I think that is just BS. First off, if you think someone is just so far gone and they are not listening to you, just leave them. Just say, hey, you are no longer right for me. This is not working out. So goodbye. And that's it. But posting all this information about her, making her lose her job, her credibility, her friends, making her lose her house, all of that, and saying that, oh, I did it for you because I really care about you and I want you to, find your true self and help you. That is just BS. And that makes her husband more of a dirtbag. There is no real good reason to do that. That is just a douche move. Furthermore, why would you do it in all this way, like with this hacker or whatever? Why not just contact a journalist or something, a blogger, and just say, hey, she is not, from this farm, she went to this school. Why don't you check that out? Go talk to people who went to this school. Here is her yearbook. You could, post an article just saying, hey, she is not a farmer's daughter or whatever. Have the journalist do it. But instead, hacking her account and doing all that, that just seems like way too much work, way too, what's the word? I don't know, complex. Also, one thing he does is he posts a picture of her when she was having an affair. I don't really get how he got that picture in the first place, but again, why would you just not leave this person? How could you post this picture publicly of them having an affair and think, oh, I'm doing this for us. I want to help you. I want to help us get back together and, whatever. Posting a picture of them having an affair publicly, that is, again, just a super douche move. Also, I think there might actually, if it's not illegal to do that, like you break up with someone and post a sex tape or whatever of them live, that might be illegal. I don't know. But it would definitely not look good for you in court. If in court you're talking about the divorce or whatever, and this plaintiff, the woman, has this evidence that you just leaked this information or whatever, this picture about her affair publicly in revenge for her having the affair, that is not going to look good for you in court. So that, again, that was just stupid. And everything her husband did, this whole plan about the hack is just stupid. So it was a stupid plan from this douche husband, and it was stupid of her to make up this lies when everyone would know the truth. The truth would get out. So really, I found the book very implausible for those reasons. Now, rating it. This is pretty tricky. I think, while I did not really like the book myself, I would probably just give it 2 stars personally. I'm going to give it 3. And kind of 2 stars is just for effort, and the 3rd star is just to be generous. Even though I didn't really enjoy the book myself, I think others could enjoy it. I see what the writer was trying to do. I think it was a pretty serious attempt to have this story about this character who is kind of riches to rags and trying to work her way back up. I think that is an overall popular story, a popular kind of story about character growth and everything, about betrayal. So there's a lot of good themes in here that I think give this book some qualities. But as far as the execution of it, I think that could have left a lot to be, what's the expression? A lot to be desired. So, 3 stars. 2 stars for effort, and I guess 1 additional star for potential. Or, again, I think other readers may enjoy this book more than I did. So I think 3 stars is about fair. I don't know how fans overall view this book by Dave, if they think this is one of her better books or one of her less good books. So I think I am still open to reading Malibu Rising or other books by the author. But am I blown away by it? No. Would I recommend it? No. Do I think people could enjoy this book and enjoy this author? I would say yes. So if that sounds appealing to you, this story about this character being knocked down a peg and having to climb her way back up, if you like that kind of story, you should check out this book. Anyway, that is it for this review. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Oops, oh, messed it up. Here we go. Dang it. There, wait, hold it.